If you follow this step-by-step process, you can wave goodbye to those horrible, thinny, chunky strikes and say hello to some really consistent shots round the green. So number one, what I want you to do is check your weight distribution. So the best drill for that is to raise the outside of the right foot or the heel of the right foot completely off the ground. And that will feel really, really strange if you don't do that. You hopefully feel very left throughout the full swing. And that's what we want. So if you want really consistent strikes around the green, this is without a doubt the start point for nice contact. Just like an iron, we want the majority of weight on the left side for good striking. So this is where I would start once you've got your feet 2 club heads wide, which is a great guide. Just look down, 1 club head, 2 club heads. This foot points to 11 o'clock. Now your feet are good. You don't have to go really, really open with the stance. This is going to open it ever so slightly, just on its own anyway. Now your feet are sorted. Distance from the ball depends on the shot. If we're looking for a chip shot, we're going to stand closer and taller. If we're pitching, we're going to be a little bit further away with the hands slightly lower. And that just helps us for the shot we're about to play. Chipping, generally speaking, would have less wrist hinge, so the higher hands is going to help us do that. Pitching, longer swing, higher flight, A to B shot is generally going to have lower hands with some more wrist set, more wrist hinge. So how we position the handle is going to help us do that. So that gets us that position there. Then we want the right foot, or the outside of the right foot, off the ground and just start hitting a few shots and just get used to that sensation. That feels normal to me, but that comes after lots and lots of practice. So we want the exact same thing for you. That should start to feel quite normal. And if it does, that means your weight is staying on that left side throughout the swing. And that goes for chipping, pitching, and for bunkers. It's a really good drill for round the greens. So once you've got a good setup, the shoulders are fairly level, the feet are in a good position, this is probably my start point for most golfers. So do this before moving on to the next part. And then from this face-on angle, really all we're looking to do, especially when we're chipping, and from the face-on, what we definitely don't want, and this would be the next step, is check you don't have excessive tilts. Sometimes we see people leaning to the left and then tilting to the right. Well, guess what? That's going to move the bottom of the swing back. You're going to get fats, you're going to get thins, you're not going to strike it particularly good. So practice the left hand low drill, maybe hit a couple, but certainly do it in the setup to give you the sensation of neutral spine, fairly level shoulders. This one's always lower, right hand's lower, but give yourself that sensation, maybe hit some. Really good for chipping release, where we want the club head below the hands, which again is another thing that improves strike. But for the sensation of where you should be at setup, you can go left hand low, get the setup good, switch the hands round without tilting to the right. And again, that moves you on and really helps out with the strike. So once we've done this, that is all the steps to get a really, really good setup. Next step is making sure you have the swing moves that are going to make strikes so easy. So this is quite often the death move in short game, and I'll show you the reason why. So quite often what we see, if someone comes to me for a lesson and has a decent setup, the most common thing after that is a swing where this club head moves inside the hands below the plane. So imagine this line is here. So there's a club plane at the start, there's a club plane now, okay? That's maybe a little bit too steep, we'll go a little bit narrower there. So say this is the club plane, those two sticks almost match one another. If we go significantly inside and under plane, the low point of the swing is going to move back. We're going to hit the ground before the ball, we're going to get the club head swinging up, so we're going to thin it a lot more often. The loft delivery is going to be inconsistent. So many bad things can happen when that club works too far under plane. Now if we reverse that and we look at the best wedge players in the world, you'll see examples of Luke Donald, John Ram, some of the best players in the world who strike the ball great round the greens. Their club head and their club shaft works above plane. So the head, club head stays in front of the hands. The shaft works above plane. And the reason why this is so important is when you're on really bare ground with nothing underneath the ball, you need a slightly steeper angle of attack. You cannot be really low and under on a hard pan fairway. You're going to thin it, and then equally if you sit down in the rough, again, moving round and under, you're going to catch far too much grass behind the golf ball. So working more above plane is where we want to go. So 3 drills that work on this. Number 1, the plane drill. So fire a stick in the ground, work the club head above that plane, get it to match the stick. So that would be number 1. Number 2, place a club or a stick on the floor at the target line. So looking down at your target, where you want your ball to go, pointing straight through the golf ball down to the target. Now, if you take the club on the inside, we are going to zoom the club inside the stick far too quickly. What I want you to do is, I want you to feel like your club head goes up the stick in the takeaway, down the stick on the way down, and then in on the follow through. And the reason it goes in is because we rotate the chest, there's a bit of hip turn, so we want to go up, down, in. So club down, stick down, up, down, in, up, down, in. Strike was good, just a little bit short. And this is a really good feedback tool, really good for practice. Up, down, in. And again, don't panic if this feels different. That's a good sign. This is such a good drill. These two are really, really, really good. And then the third one, just if you don't like the angle of the club, very similar to number 1, is just place that stick just in front of your right foot when you set up. Inside takeaways are going to hit that. So don't hit the stick is the rule. Club head, shaft in front of the stick. Turn the chest through, and again, all of those were really nice strikes, and that's what we're hoping for you to get. Once you do this, watch your handicap fly down.